Hello, hello. So I've been thinking about items and how we make sure that they are very convenient for other people to use. And one of the things that's definitely seems clear to me is that if we can have items as an actor, there's a lot of things that we can do with them. For instance, we can expose different functions attached to the character, to the combat system, or maybe if the character is taunting, we can simultaneously activate a special effect or otherwise related to that item. So there'll be lots of customizable options. In the viewport, you'll be able to change the mesh. You can add special effects. You can add pretty much anything you want, and you can adjust it very flexibly, like you would with any actor. One of my concerns with this is what this means for replication, but there are actually some good news in this regard. So first I did some debugging. So I'm gonna go ahead here and just randomly spawn this helmet here. And then if we go into the log, it will tell us a great deal of information. And one of the things it will tell us is that we are actually able to set our own net update frequency. And this is a big deal because if we can control this and reduce this down to 0 for items that don't really do anything, it's going to be very minimal in how much bandwidth they're going to cost. It's pretty much only the equipping and unequipping that's going to cost some bandwidth for us, but that is fine because that is expected either way. Originally I was afraid that when you attach an actor to a character, for instance, it would basically take its net properties and use for itself. That does actually seem to be the case for some of this, but not all of it. So one of the tests that I have is to see if this net update frequency is actually reliable. So to start off, we're going to have the server constantly update an integer, increase it by 1 every second, and then we're going to cause a little explosion effect on the client whenever we receive an update. So we should expect that when I put on this helmet, that every second it has this VFX, and it does. Okay. Now, if this works as it's supposed to, it means that I can, despite the server updating every second, if I can change my net update settings, let's take it all the way down to 0.3. So approximately every 3 seconds we will be allowed to receive an update. So now, if we see this happen more seldomly, that means it actually works. And it does. So we got one explosion here, and about 3 seconds later we have another one. This is good. So now we know that we can trust this, but something that we cannot trust that I discovered is the net call distance. So if I were to set this to 2, which would basically make it not exist, that does not work. And I think those are some of the attachment rules or things that are overtaken when we do this. So 2, it should basically stop rendering already, but we can see that's not the case. It still keeps going. However, one of the things that we can do is we can change this in the character. So I expect that we change the call distance in characters anyway, but it really depends on how combat works. So right now I've set it down to a lower value than usual. If there's going to be like very long range combat, then we probably need to like have it at something more original where we can see characters from very far away. So in this case I've set it down to, let's see, if I leave about this distance, I think it takes a little time after you're out of range. It takes a little bit before the character, yeah, there it is, before the character disappears. But if I go close, it should, yeah, there we go. When I'm in certain range, it should come back, and the box is there as well. Now, interestingly, you notice right there, the box did not appear at first, and I think that's because of that net update. It was only when we got that net update with the explosion that it appeared. So that's actually a good sign. It means that it is still respecting that as well. So yeah, this is what I've been spending my time on, trying to figure out the price of bandwidth with this very flexible implementation. But so far I think it's actually looking really good. The fact that we can rely on the net update is already significant, and I would imagine even the priority is also respected. Now, to test this would require some more thorough testing, possibly even profiling it. I don't think we need to go in that direction. The fact that these two work is already great, because we can pretty much just set them to 0 if the item doesn't do anything, and then that's wonderful. There's also this net dormancy. I have been testing this. It does not seem to work. I think maybe that has to do with the attachment, similar to how net call distance is not working individually.
Now, something really funny I noticed, if I actually set the net update to 0, this is what's going to happen. If I run out, I was concerned that maybe it would not reapply after the character disappeared. But what actually happens is that because of the minimal net update, it actually refuses to disappear entirely. I don't know if you can see this. Let me maximize this. You can see now his helmet is actually floating up in the air. And then if I move like this, the box doesn't move. But then when I get close enough, it will go back to be attached to him. So that's fine. But what this means is, what we can do is we just set the, we don't necessarily have to set the net update to 0, but we can set it to just something very minimal. So it's still gonna look, proper.